Yes, unmute me as well.
If I have to.
You have to.
Hey, Railbirds, Kevin and Ray here. We
Hi.
we got Ray Norgard here.
Oh, wait to say my last name right. Most people don't.
Really? How do most
Yeah.
people say it?
Like, no guard. They just delete consonants out of it. Like, there's no R sometimes.
It doesn't seem like that hard of a
I know
name
it's
to
not,
pronounce.
but people just mess it up.
All right, so we have a third place match going on here. This is going to be a race to 6. Shari Ross versus Wendy Robotham. It's Wendy racking now. Shari will be breaking. She won the lag. We're playing mostly CSI rules 9-ball. One of the differences is it's going to be rack for your opponents instead of rack your own. Other than that, it's pretty much your standard 9-ball rules. We are playing 3-foul rule. No conceding of the 9-ball rule is also in effect. You'll lose an extra game if you do, so don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. I always forget because normally I play in the pool halls and it's just like a respect thing for me. So it's really hard for me to remember that rule.
I respect no one.
I know, Kevin.
Oh, we got the Shari fan. Look at that cheese rider. It's going. It's going.
It is going.
And there it is. First game.
What a way to start that.
Yeehaw. Giddy up. All right, just like that. 1-0. Race to 6. So, Ray, so you were on the show with Tor Lowry, the 14 Days Great Pool Experiment. So what was that like? Tell us all about it.
You know, it was a long time coming. When I was 17 or 18 is when I had first applied for, to go on it. And I was going to be the first woman on it. And then, I couldn't do the whole week because my job, it was just so strenuous, and the closest 9-footer that I wanted to play on was like an hour away from me. So I was like, man, this isn't going to be possible. So, he was like, okay, and it sort of just faded away off into the existence. And then when I was, I want to say 22 or 21, my friend Janet actually posted something and tagged Tor in it, and I was like, oh, hey, and Tor reached out to me. He's like, so what do you feel about coming out here to Utah and doing that experience? And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I mean, money's sort of tight. He's like, that's fine, I got it, I'll cover everything. And I was like, okay. So here we are, years later, and I finally get to go out there. And I mean, the experience was just mind-blowing. I've never been in that part of Utah. It's South Jordan, Utah is where he's from. And not only was it beautiful out there, and we went, we were out we went to the mountains for a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't like all pool. I was only there for 3 days. So we played for like 10 hours a day, and it's just a completely different animal when you have to focus that much. You focus on every single aspect of every single shot. And it was perfect. It was, looking back on the videos, it was very hard to believe that that was actually me. Really, because it's just not like how I would normally play. And it was a great experience, honestly. I learned a lot from Tor. He's a fantastic individual, just in general, not only in the pool world, but just a person. He's just so nice, and he's such a giver, which, in this day and age is so hard to come by. So,
well, that's great to hear.
Yeah, he's a real great guy.
Yeah, I hear he's got a bit of a waiting list for people that wanted to take part in that show. Uh-oh, 7-ball. Whoopsie.
Oh, maybe she banked it, or is that the 3-ball over there?
It's a 3-ball up
I
there.
thought she was on the 4. I didn't even see the 3. Shame on me. Yeah, actually, a lot of people were like, "Hey, how'd you get into that, and how'd you do this and that?" And I was like, I waited like 4 years. That's how I did it. I was like, I was supposed to be one of the first women to do it. I was like, it's a lot of patience. So, I mean, overall, it's fantastic. The real key thing I would say, if anybody has done it or is wanting to do it
Mm-hmm.
or is going to do it, is it's very different there because you're in a different atmosphere, you're in a different environment. So once you come home, it's so easy to just fall back into the same patterns
Mm-hmm.
and become lazy about it, I guess is really the best word to say, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of focus,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you really have to discipline yourself once you get back to your common ground to sort of implement what you learned there. That's probably the hardest thing out of all of it.
It's like Sherry's going to go get the short queue.
Oh, here we go. Here comes some airmail.
Make sure you file the flight plan first.
Yeah. No carry-ons. No checked baggage.
Yeah, they nickel and dime you for everything now.
Oh,
even
they do.
even carry-ons.
You know what? Like, Spirit isn't that bad. I mean, the
Really?
tickets.
I heard they're like the worst.
Well, the tickets themselves are cheap, but I mean, like a person like me, I don't really bring a lot. I probably would bring a carry-on, and I think you get one free carry-on. I'm pretty sure, or it's like $20, $30, something like that.
I think they have different fare classes, different levels of fares. Where if you get the super cheap fare, you don't even get one carry-on. But if you get like the next grade
Yeah.
up of fares, then you get one carry. I don't know.
I mean,
They're cheap.
I would like that because I don't really carry anything really. That's what I used to fly out to tours. Was we use Spirit, and then I used Spirit to go down to Florida last year, and I didn't have any complaints.
Well, you are their demographic.
That's true. It's crazy how much
'Cause, you have no luggage and you're small, so
I know.
you fit in those
I
tiny seats
know.
that they have too.
Yeah, they like stick me in the middle. Although I have really long legs, which honestly, Spirit has got some pretty decent room in some of their planes, as compared to like United. But I haven't really flown that much. I really don't like flying. I'm not a fan of it. I'm actually
Nice shot.
scared to death of flying. So
I don't mind flying. It's just I hate the whole ordeal of the whole ordeal of travel.
yeah, that's true.
Except for airport security, I really like that part. That's the fun part. Not
Yeah, that's probably what takes the most time.
even with the TSA pre-check, it's still.
Yeah.
What row?
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
That's our railbird.
It's our mascot.
Nobody was shooting and you had the cameras on. I'd go hide behind the table and
Put it on top of the camera. Yeah, we got our mascot on top of one of our cameras now.
The old Canon. I think my mom's got a Canon. She really likes it. I mean, are they all the same brand?
Yeah,
They
they're
all
all
the same?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Oh.
All the same brand, same model.
Yeah. I mean, it only makes sense, right? Because then there's less variables. They're all the same.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you start mixing cameras, and every time you switch camera angles, it looks different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Different quality and everything.
All right, how's Sherry gonna ride the 9 from here?
I know. Two railing. Two rails slice the 9 in the corner.
I just send a cue ball at the 9 to off the edge of the 5, bottom rail at the 9.
Oh, that's true. See, I'll take the 7 ball, Kevin.
Right, I'll give you the 7 if you give me the 5 and the 6.
No. No orange crush.
And the 8 ball, nobody gets the 8
Right.
because no one's gonna make it that far anyway.
I know, technically. Right? Like if you give me half the balls and I make them on the break.
Hey, what's this half the ball?
I'll take 1 through 4. You get 5, 6. I get 7.
What is this, cutthroat?
Yeah. Oh, Cutthroat. That was one of the first games I actually played when I first started playing was Cutthroat because both my siblings wanted to play. I'm like, well, there's only 3 of us. And we would fight about it all the time, so we just played Cutthroat all the time. And now it's just so easy. I feel bad because sometimes they still want to play, and I'm like, no.
I'll just crush your soul, and you'll cry.
I'm like, I'll literally break, and I'll run out, and then you guys won't want to play anymore. This table's been running fast. Actually, they've all been running fast. I mean, the temperature in here is pretty decent, but they're just running fast.
What kind of tables do you play on back home?
Not diamonds, actually. I mean, there's a lot of diamonds in the Joliet area of Illinois, but I prefer 9-foot pool, and I normally just play on gold crowns.
Well, 9-foot gold crowns are absolutely nothing like 7-foot diamonds. That's for sure.
Absolutely not.
That's two totally different worlds.
When I first got here and I started hitting balls, I was like, man, when's the last time you even hit a ball on a diamond table? Rattle, rattle, rattle. I think I rattled every ball for the first couple wrecks. I was like, maybe I should just go home now and start that 5.5-hour trek. This is going to be interesting getting shape on this ball. Depends on the angle. On the 7.
I can't tell if she has angle where she can or not.
Punch it in and come off that side rail where the chalk is and come back.
Oh, she had the other angle.
Yeah.
Time up, get funny.
Yeah. Pack your bags, 9-ball. Going for a ride.
I like the way you think.
Well, I mean, you might as well risk it for the biscuit on this one.
Take a splash at the cash.
Yeah. It can only end well.
Just not. We just don't know for who.
Right. Cliffhanger.
Nope. I think maybe it's come across off the cue ball, but no. That's sitting pretty nice for Shari.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, slow down. Got a hold of that one.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy to overstroke on these tables.
Yeah, especially if you're not used to them.
Yeah, it's either you have to shorten your stroke or you're sort of stuck because on your follow through you're like staggering trying to slow your stroke down.
It's like whoa,
yeah, it's like,
slow
come
down.
back, come back. Yeah, and I mean you can always let your stroke out and play those multiple rails, but I mean you're literally just asking for trouble when you play it like that.
But it's so much fun.
I know. That's why I do it. And I get in trouble all the time. Lou's over there playing like you.
Oh, that's Brad. Brad Houston.
Does he play with the Jacoby? It looks like a Jacoby.
I've never actually asked him what he plays with.
I think he's playing with. It looks like a similar style of Jacoby. Or maybe a gym bus. I've seen gym buses look like that as well. It's always so interesting when I like let somebody borrow my cue because I obviously never see what the cue looks like in action because I'm the one holding it. So it's actually pretty cool. I'm like, man, that thing's really pretty. No wonder I get a lot of compliments on it.
It is. Nice cue.
Yeah.
It's good too. What kind of cue is it?
It's a Dezerky. You know the forearm is just it's AAA wood, curly maple. It's beautiful, minus all the nicks that are in it. But and then it's got the I don't want to say it. It's GABON, ebony. It's like Gabon or Gabon.
Gabon. Yeah, I don't know.
It's GABON, whatever, however you pronounce that. It's got a lot of ebony in it. It doesn't have any ivory in it, which is surprising because I figured, you know, everybody nowadays is like, oh, let's just throw ivory in everything. But it's curly maple, and then just a ton of veneers, really. So, how exactly do you pronounce this town?
Beulah.
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 I thought it was like Bola. You know, like B-E-A or B-E-U, B-O-E. All the ways you could say Bo. Yeah, I had no idea. I had a heck of a time trying to type it in. I had to type it in like 4 different times. And I misspelled it every time. I'm like, just go up to Michigan.
Ball. Oh. And I think Shari's just going to just shoot the 9 in here.
Yeah, that'd be a very, very smart play.
I don't think she's going to go for a hit. Yep, not even thinking about it. Let's see, here you go. Have at it.
That's an even better move because I thought she was going to run into the combo there and then run into the 9 ball, but I'm like, why would you do that? So that was even better because now you make her break it up, more chance of an error.
Mm-hmm.
See? I'm scoping out my opponent right now. That's what I'm doing. This joke's on you guys. Let's have Ray commentate.
Collecting some intel.
Writing it all down.
Got your little notebook out?
I know. Little notebook and pen.
Ride the dime.
Cheese it. No, she's going to go 1-8 probably. She's got to control that 1 ball, though. She can't hit it very hard. Unless she's going in the corner.
I think she's going to the corner.
Oh, she is. Or she's playing safe. What do we know?
I have no idea what I know.
I don't know. A multitude of things would have been there. And you know a multitude of things, Kevin.
All right, go get that jump cue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's close to the 9, but you only have to jump over half the ball, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, I agree. Spend a little bit more time aiming than how hard you have to hit on that cue ball in order to get more air under it.
Right.
So I've noticed. But I'm not the best jumper in the world either. I just don't do it a lot. I just prefer to kick.
All right, ball in hand for Shari.
There's definitely a combo in her future.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be a combo on the 9, probably.
No, I know. She's probably so distraught. Again, she got to control that 2 ball when it comes off that 3. She could easily hit it a little bit too hard, and it would come into that cluster or the 9-6.
Or make sure you hit it hard enough to clear it all.
Or she could just hit it like that.
Just hit it full whack. Got the 2 in. You got the 8 ball there to protect you from scratching. Not that I don't think that would be a scratch anyway.
Right.
At least it takes the worry out of your mind.
Right.
Double kiss,
That's
timing shot. No,
that's like
safe.
the biggest thing with shots is that you want, like, in scratch shots, for me personally, like when it's on the spot, I'm like, man, this is probably going to scratch, but if I make it, it doesn't. And then all you're doing is sitting there thinking, scratch, scratch, scratch. Or you're thinking, don't scratch, but your mind's programmed to just, delete that don't out of there. It is. It's been scientifically proven.
Oh, that was a nice shot.
Both of them can combo. She went the softer route, though. But that was good control of the 2. So she's either gonna, I don't know. I mean, to get shape on the 6, you play it in the side. She's gonna play it in the corner.
Yeah,
though,
if you
I
play
feel
in the
like.
side, you're going to be forced to run into the 9, it looks like.
Yeah.
Or into the 6.
But would you rather run into the 9, or would you rather get hooked by the 9? Or, man, she's has a very unfortunate luck when it comes to how the balls kiss off of each other. She did against me as well. Just the balls roll funny.
Balls roll funny for everyone, kid.
Yeah. Fast Eddie, end quote. Oh my god. That's what Angela just sent me. Angela, I don't even know what she sounds like, okay? Some of us don't have the pleasure of meeting people. Specific individuals.
If she's talking about Jasmine Ocean, I don't think you sound like Jasmine.
Well, just let me have this, okay? She's only the love of my life.
You sound just like her.
Oh, I know. Angela was supposed to help me out with that. Look what happened there.
That screen is kind of in rough
Let's
shape.
not talk about the screen on my phone, okay? Literally, the day before my case came in, I took it out, and I was like, it's fine. You know what? I'll leave it out of my other case just for one day. Wrong. So very wrong.
Sound like my son. I bought him a phone and then ordered him a case, and the phone arrived like a day before the case or something like that. And it's like
Should have never gave it to him.
The day before the case arrives, he drops his phone and breaks the screen.
Yep. And then, of course, I have to put the case on after that.
At that point.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know I'm going to drop it again. At least it still works now. But, I mean, I have insurance on it, but you have to pay like a $150 deductible, and I owe $120 on the phone total to pay it off outright. So I'm like, well, I'll just suffer. Lots of people suffer with broken screen phones.
Until you learn how to replace the broken screen.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, but I've never done it on an iPhone.
Okay, then let's not try it. I will deal with it. I only have to deal with... I think the iPhone 10's coming out or something like that in a couple months.
What happened to 9?
Well, what happened to, like, the other 25 letters in the alphabet? They have the iPhone X. Like, why is X so special? Why didn't they just say...
Because of OS X.
Oh, really? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, the Mac OS.
Well, I don't like Apple. I just have an iPhone.
Yeah, if you don't like Apple, you got the wrong phone.
I know, but now I'm stuck with it. Anyways, so she's got the 3-2 tied up, which, I mean, whenever you break, your eyes just track that one ball. But then, as soon as you realize you have a shot on the one, normally you have some balls tied up, and then there go your hopes and dreams. At least for me.
Yeah. Well, that 2 does go on the side, and she can follow down to the bottom rail for the. She may have overhit that just a hair.
I'm telling you, this table just runs fast.
Ride the 9.
Cheese it.
Do it. Or just come off the right side of the 2, cue ball 2 rails in behind the 6 for a safe. Yeah.
What'd she end up doing with that? Did she just clip it and sent it 2 rails, 1 rail? Did she come off this other side rail?
One of those, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it worked out great. We're taking another ride in the air
Yep.
with Shari. We'll see if this corner pocket will accept this 2 ball or not. They've been pretty tight, honestly.
Nine ball?
Oh, here we go. The 9's taking a ride too. Actually, the 9 might be taking a ride here. Who knows? The ride's always riding. The 9 is always riding. I don't know what you do with this 2 ball, Kev.
Why do you always have to ask me the tough questions?
Because you're the better player. You're the one giving me the 1 through 4.
But you're giving me the rest of them.
That's fine, though. I like my odds. I'm pattern racking you, for sure.
What?
I get all the breaks.
I'm getting all the breaks. We never said you were getting any breaks.
No.
You don't break no matter what.
Man. Tough. That's tough.
Oh, did I mention I get the breaks and ball and after the break?
Man. You need that much?
Against you?
You're funny. Quit. You're killing my action.
I never got to hang out with Tor Lowry.
I know. He's a cool dude. He is. He wouldn't let me pay for any of my food when I was out there. I felt, weird. But, I mean, it was like, sort of like when you win a trip to Mexico. Airfare paid for, free hotel with food and beverages.
Quiet, James. Keep it down.
I
over
like
there.
it. What else you got, James? What's his kryptonite? Tell me. You can trust me. Ooh, that was a fantastic shot right there.
Nice shot. Come on. Come out. Come out. Come out to cue ball.
Very clean.
All right. Actually, this is good. If she can actually hit the 8 or the 9 with the cue ball, to loosen that up a little and still get position on the 6. No, she just went between them.
But she still got a chance with how she plays shape on the 7 ball. That's one thing Tor taught me is, really just paying attention to the angles you have and using the tangent lines.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, you have so few variables with that when you're just playing tangent lines.
Sure.
Now here, do you go to the bottom rail and come up and try and break it up? Or I don't even know what angle she has on that. She might have the angle.
Man, it almost looks like if she can cheat the pocket, she can run right into the 9.
Nice shot.
And, well, it's a shot at the 8. Not an easy shot.
Well, it was better than the shot she had before that, though.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Oh no. Did all hard work and
Yeah. I should hate that when
let
that
Sherry
happens.
come in and clean up. I kind of like it when I'm the person coming in doing the cleanup.
Yeah. Alright, so we got 3-1 Sherry. He's gonna put the juju on my cue. I know it. Lulu is gonna give the juju.
Trip over it and break it into 3 pieces.
Oh, do not say that. Well, where's it gonna break? It's already in 2. It's gonna break the shaft or the butt? Because if he breaks the shaft, I can live with it. Because I have 2 other ones.
Yeah, it's a little easier and cheaper to replace.
Yeah, slightly.
Okay, I got a shaft. Can you send me a new butt for it?
Yeah, I have the shaft. Can you send me a new butt? I have the shaft. You know, it's so weird. It's just some random shaft with no butt. The ones that are weird are like the ones where the pin's in the shaft.
Yeah, the backwards ones.
Yeah. I don't know. Who would ever make those? Like, who makes those? I've seen them. I've just never really paid attention to the maker. Oh, big break from Sherry with no reward. Those are the worst when you know you broke them good,
Broke them
you
wide
don't-
open for
yeah,
your break them wide open for your opponent.
but you don't make a ball.
In fact, I don't think I've ever seen that many cracks on a cell phone screen.
Would you
and
stop
have it
looking
still,
at my
and have it still
phone?
work?
I know, it's impressive, isn't it? Look at this one. Look at
You
that
you still got some room for a couple more cracks on there, though. I see a couple of unbroken
one. A regular screen.
square
I know.
centimeters.
See? Just pretend that this is it.
There's like 2 square centimeters on there with no crack through it.
I know. That's normally where I zoom in. Like all my pictures, I just drag it down to that little spot so people can see it. The struggle, man. Quit hating. That's a good shot by Sherry.
Hey, face man, welcome. I wasn't sure if that 2 passed the 5, but I think I just got my answer.
Yeah, that
I'm thinking it goes. Now she's shooting trick shots.
gonna play it 2 rails straight back. Hey, I've had my fair share of those today. I think we all have. Whoa, Angela.
Is she feeling guilty about that 3 ball?
I always do. Like, I
Oh,
think
you totally got to get over that.
Well, I mean, it's because I'm nice. I'm a nice person, even on the pool table. I know, I don't have that killer instinct, and I need it. I understand. I give the same speech all the time. No, honestly, like, that's a real big thing. Like, when you slap in a ball, and it's just like, oh my god, I just slapped that in. And then you just feel guilty about it, and I'm sure there's a statistic.
Yeah, you got to get over that.
I'm sure there's a statistic out there for missed balls after you slap in a ball. I thought you would bank that 5 into the 8 ball.
Speaking of statistics, did you know that 73% of all statistics are made up right there on the spot?
Oh, should we make it 74 right now? 85% of missed balls. No. Let's word this properly if we're going to do this. Okay. Statistics prove
Whatever you want them to prove.
that after you slap in a ball, 85% of people miss the following ball out of guilt. Angela to clear that up. I mean, she is in this chat, right? Say something if you're in this chat, because I'm not gonna
She
sit
was
here and talk.
she was earlier.
I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. I'm actually talking to a computer screen.
Just another day in paradise, Spaceman. Thanks.
Anyways, Angela. She backed out of both of those tournaments that I went to, remember? We're talking about Jasmine. She's like, didn't you back out? And I was like, no. First of all, she didn't go to the Masters because she was in China. And then I want to say the U.S. Open, she didn't go to probably because she knew that she was just going to fall in love with me. So, I mean, you know?
It's probably a smart move on her part.
I know. That would be a very, very long distance relationship. Continents distance. A girl can dream, okay? Oh, I mean, you got that vibe, right? Sorry. Back to the pool. Okay, so is the 1-8 wired?
9 ball.
Cheese that 9. Oh, the 9's gonna go for a ride pretty soon.
Nowhere near the 9.
The banks are open for Shari.
Nice shot.
Now's the time, Kevin, if you want something. You want to buy something, you better ask her now.
Uh-oh, mayday, mayday, mayday.
Wow, this is fun. Real funky here. I don't think the 3 goes by that 8. Just a big cluster down there.
I can't tell, but it looks like on screen it looks like it goes.
We're going to find out.
Just got to make sure that 2 ball doesn't end up on top of the 8 or something like that. Or the
Like that.
cue ball on top of the 2 ball.
Like that.
Play the 2-8 billiard nice and soft, so then you have the 2 to the left corner after. If the 2 does not go by the 8, which I'm thinking it doesn't. I was thinking about playing.
She's just going to bank it in, though.
She'll just bank her way out.
I'm telling you, we should just play banks for our first set. Do you have mics for players?
No.
Man, that should be a thing.
Yeah, I think she's let her see a piece of this 4. Okay, maybe a little bit more than a piece.
Slightly more. Oh, you ready? Is the 9-ball packed and ready to go?
You're going to go out on a limb
Nice.
and make that prediction that she's going to play a 7-9 combination?
My bags are packed. I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye. Well, I just watched Armageddon.
On purpose?
It's a good movie.
Hmm?
Armageddon's a good movie. I'm actually surprised she didn't full stroke that ball. Like, like normal speed, because she could always just come back off the end rail, and you would be coming into the window for the 7-9 a little bit easier.
Yeah, I would have liked to put a little bit more of a stroke on that 6 and, go up and down table.
Mm-hmm. And I keep forgetting that I'm like 5.5 hours away from home. I keep looking, like when people walk in the door, like I'm gonna know who's coming in. Like,
Oh, who's that? Who's that?
Like, I know them. No, you're 5.5 hours away from home, dear. You don't know anybody.
All right, so Sherry's going to bank her way out again.
Again.
She's going to bank the 7, and then she's probably going to have to bank the 8.
Get on the short side for the 8 and bank it straight
and
back.
then, get short side on the 9 and shoot the 9 up table.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the double kiss got her. That 7's going back. The 7 just likes that
The
area
7 likes
over
that.
there.
So, no, I want to be over here. I don't think the 7 goes by the 9.
No, she's riding it.
All right.
Choo choo on the cheese train. Really happy this table has finally settled in from the first match. It was just such a pain trying to get the balls to freeze.
Mm-hmm.
But now that there's been, a good 4 or 5 matches on there, actually like 6 or 7, now the table's finally settling in. It's a little bit easier to rack the balls. As you can see, I would still be sitting there for another 2 minutes.
And then get 2 other people over
We're
to
gonna
help
need
rack.
a commercial break, please. A long commercial. Like the sad dog commercial. Playing Sarah McLachlan. Uh-oh, we got action on that cue ball.
Not the Sarah McLachlan sad dog commercial.
Instantly makes me want to go pet my dog and feed her all the treats on the planet. Instantly. No wonder she's so fat. My dog is such a fatty.
You gotta watch less commercials.
I know. It's like she knows. The commercial comes on, she's instantly by the treats. She's like, no, I'm not falling for it. I'm your owner. You're not mine.
So she's got you trained into thinking that, huh?
Yeah. Well, now I don't have a yard, really, because I live in an upstairs apartment, and I have a yellow lab, and so now we go on walks.
That's a good apartment dog.
She's old, okay? She's the perfect anything dog. She's like 12 years old, and she's very healthy. Nobody jinx me. She's perfect. But I have to walk her now, so now
Does she take up 7/8 of your bed?
I have a big bed. My old bed, I used to sleep in a twin. And yes, she took up almost the whole entire bed. But now, she doesn't really like sleeping on the bed anymore. It's sort of weird. I think she just gets too hot, that's all.
nice shot.
Oh, that's a great shot.
All right, what's the plan here for the 4 to the 5? What are we doing with this 5 ball? Actually, what are we doing with this 4? Okay.
That's what we're doing with it, Kevin. Get on board. But now, I don't know. I mean, do you come back around? Do you play the 5? It's hard to play the 5 in the opposite corner. She's gonna just play the combo.
I guess 5-6 combo. I see. She thought the 6 was the 9. It was upside down.
Right. Right. Well, she's left it tough. Either way, whatever her plan was, she left it tough. Although it's a pretty lock-up safe. We leave her behind the 8. And just send the 5 ball up table.
It's an easy safe, but I also don't mind going for the bank cross side and just a hair of draw. A two-way shot where if you miss it, you can have the 6.
Yeah, that, and if you come short, the 5 ball still goes up table. Same if you go long, really. But yeah, that's a nice two-way shot. This is why I never get out, because I never play the two-way shot. I don't really play safe, and I play it wrong. Well, she had the right idea, but she
And just let the cue ball get away.
Yeah, didn't. I think she was scared that she would somehow scratch. Which I mean I understand. As soon as you scratch a couple times on whims, it's so hard to get that out of your head. Then you think you're gonna scratch from everywhere. No place on the table is safe at that point. Man, they're playing tight.
That pocket is definitely defective.
Yeah, that bank is not open. All the other ones are open.
Yeah, I thought she made it when she hit it.
Yeah, she hit it real good.
Stingy pocket.
It's going to be interesting trying to get shape off of this 5 ball with how deep it is. Because that cue ball is going to come off super quick if you play rail first. And even if, you know, what Tor said actually was the best way to do this is just draw it out. Because then you're deleting all of the variables. Just like that. That's actually probably the best. Obviously she wants to come back into the 9 a little bit more, but it was easier than trying to play multiple rails and get shape on that 6 ball. Hopefully it's still light out for most of the drive home. No, when does it get dark here?
9:30, 10 o'clock.
Oh, that's not bad then. See, now the Larry Neville in me plays his ball low inside and plays it 4 rails around or 3 rails around. Oh, you play it 4 rails.
I mean, you can shoot this to the upper left corner with just center follow. You don't even need inside and come around 3-4 rails.
Oh, like that? Wait, did you say left or right?
I said left.
Oh, she went right.
Either way would get you there.
Mm.
It's just the reason I like the left pocket is because it brings you to the right side of the table, so you're not playing short side on the 8.
Gotcha. That bank is not open either. Man, these pockets, they're not having it today. I feel like they play tighter and tighter each match. Write that down in the notebook. Do not hit things full speed. Pocket speed.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
That's perfect. I see the big table player in me would punch this and play it up and play it back down.
No, I just roll it in nice and soft.
I see this is the big table player in me.
Ooh, actually,
You
she
see-
a little too soft.
Again, didn't I tell you that I would get in trouble when I would play multiple rails? I would get in trouble, but that's just how I would shoot it because
'Cause
that's
that's how
my
you
normal.
roll. That's
well,
how you roll.
It's my normal stroke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like with anybody, difficult shots, they're a lot easier to make if you just use your normal stroke. Statistics have proven that. I don't have a percentage for you.
You're supposed to make one up.
I know. 80. 80.
Really? 80?
Yeah.
That's the one you're going with?
Well, I said 85 earlier. I will say the music has been on point today. Got some John Mellencamp going on right now, which is so weird because I'm so young, but I just love that classic rock. I can't help it.
Yeah, because it's all new to you.
I grew up on classic rock. And I mean like real classic rock because, you know, 100.7 now doesn't really play classic rock. Well, they play all Metallica and stuff. It's just rock. It's not classic. Is she's on the center line or slightly to the right?
She is just
No,
a
she's slightly
hair
on
of,
the left.
just a hair of angle.
That's a good shot, though.
That looks perfect. Nicely done.
Man, that's me. I'm kicking myself right now when I break dry like that. Nice shot.
Yeehaw.
Well, now that Sherry's in dead
Oh,
stroke.
that was race 6. I was thinking it was race
Yeah.
7. All right, so that was for the match. Nicely done. So that does eliminate Wendy from the tournament.
She got third today.
So she got third. Nicely done, Wendy. Well done. That was her first tournament on the MLRT, so not a bad first showing. We're going to have the finals coming up in just a few minutes, so we'll be right back. Thanks for sitting in, Ray.
Yep. I'm going to let her cool down now that she's in dead stroke. Sherry, go outside or something.
All right, we're going to just match up right away. All right, so don't go anywhere. Be right back.